trees start getting bigger and bigger, their root systems are going to start creeping into the soil system, and they're going to start absorbing a lot of that nutrient, so it will actually help them grow. So that's what we've been doing with our soil system here. Again, we got banana trees here as well. We're producing bananas now. We've got lots and lots of bananas this time of year. Another jackfruit tree. If you want to come with me this way, just a couple more things to show you. Another moringa tree, a couple more of those. Yeah. Another thing we got out here quite a bit is actually mint grows very, very well out here. It's very natural, so there's lots of mint that will grow. There's lots of lemon balm. We planted a lot of pumpkins, a lot of melons, a lot of watermelon. So essentially, again, what we're trying to do is that it's kind of like a polyculture, so to speak. So ultimately what that means is that these trees are not going to start producing food for us for probably 3 to 5 years. And during that time, while they're not taking up much space, we're going to try to utilize the space that we still have. So all of these areas that still get lots and lots of sun exposure, we're going to use that to try to grow more food. So that's why we're going to use our ground covers, things like watermelon, pumpkin, melon, all that kind of stuff. That lemon balm and mint, again, those are herbs that the people out here use quite a bit. So we'll be using all that as much as we can, just all kinds of natural ground cover out here. So that's all that. Check out this nice bench area, Jake. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
You can like grab a pie and eat the pie. Isn't that nice? Shout out to group, I think that was like nine. Yeah, I think it was 9 that did that. It's a dope little seat area, huh? Yeah, like that? Okay, come with me this way. Another thing too, this here is vetiver grass. So the cool thing about vetiver grass is that we put it on our berm systems, and then we put it on contour in a couple different areas in the food forest. The cool thing about vetiver grass is that it might get about 1 meter in height, but those root systems will go up to 4 meters deep. So that's roughly 15 feet that root system will go down. And it's just a very deep taproot that goes down. And so what that does, it's great for mitigating soil erosion. It's great for purifying water. Again, if any water is trying to run down this area really, really quickly, that vetiver grass, especially as it starts to bush out as it gets older and grows more, it's going to slow that water down and kind of pool it up, and these trees are going to actually feed, they're going to actually use that water, and it's going to further increase biodiversity. So another thing we did too here that you can kind of see, this is forage peanut. This is just a little nitrogen fixing ground cover that we used with some of our trees, again, just to kind of help shade the soil and add nitrogen to help build soil fertility. So lots and lots of forage peanut out here. So there's that. And then starfruit here. If you want to come with me this way, we'll show you the duck pond area. We also made a little channel that is going to connect up there, because there's one area that we have in our garden area that we see that we get some water runoff. So we're going to basically, wherever that's running, we're going to cut into it perpendicular. We're going to catch that water and direct it down to our duck pond. That's one thing. As far as maximizing water efficiency, storing water is great. Being able to move water is even better. So that's part of what we're trying to do with this, as far as just allowing this duck pond to naturally fill up. And if you want to come over this way, you can kind of see it. Shout out to, so we call this Wang Joab. That's Joab Pond. You know who you are. So, but yeah, this is our duck pond. And this is, the thing I like about this, again, we're working to create a natural ecosystem out here. So we've got all kinds of vetiver grass to help stabilize the berm system that's going to act as like a secondary floodgate, so to speak. And then we've got rocks lining the entire perimeter. It holds water very, very well. It's got compost on the bottom of it to help buffer the pH. And then we also put compost up on the ridge, because a lot of that is just clay, which is not very good soil for plants to grow in. So we put some compost up there. We added all kinds of butterfly pea and sunflower and all kinds of wildflowers out here. And that's going to create a natural ecosystem that's going to be very, very beautiful when it actually starts popping off. It's not there yet. It's very young. We only planted the seeds out here about 2 weeks ago. Again, I honestly really wish that we could come out here in like a month and a half, that's when this entire place would really start popping off. If you think a month and a half, wait about 3 years. That's when it's really going to look beautiful. So if you want to, I think that's almost everything. So yeah, one more thing about the duck pond. Where are the ducks at? So we are in the process of getting ducks. Again, we're not trying to rush anything. We needed to make sure that we could secure the perimeter of our fence. So you can kind of see, if you kind of look over there, you can kind of see at the bottom of the fence, there's a second fence that acts as like a little trellis system, and it's up right up against that bamboo. That's to help keep the dogs out. And what we did is we actually took a woody perennial vine called moonflower, and we planted it all throughout the perimeter. And as that moonflower grows up, it's going to start working its way through that trellis system, and it's going to start acting as a living fence to help keep those dogs out and add more and more biodiversity and vegetation to that area to help secure the perimeter. The reason we're doing that is because we are going to have ducks out here. Again, we don't quite have them yet. I promise they're coming. But the reason for the ducks, again, as far as integrating our systems, the ducks are good egg layers. They're very strong, hardy birds, and they're going to be free-range ducks. So they really like any kind of veggies, any kind of green foliage, anything like that. They're going to basically roam throughout the food forest throughout the day. They'll just basically hang out. They'll be eating all kinds of weeds. They'll be, oops. They'll be basically pooping all over the place and adding to soil fertility. They will also act as a natural pesticide. So basically, we have our duck pond here that's got lots of shade. They'll like this pond a lot. But also, too, as I mentioned earlier, in this region, we have a lot of our citrus trees. Citrus trees tend to attract a lot of slugs and snails. Ducks love to eat slugs and snails. And so, again, by integrating our systems, we're able to use the ducks as a natural pesticide that further supplements their diets with a good protein source. So that's why we do that. They have their duck pen for the nighttime. But yeah, they'll be free-range ducks roaming throughout this entire food forest for the time to come. So with that, oh my God, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Again, big shout out to everyone that was a part of this. So this has been going on for 2 years. Last year, ultimately the idea was to help create the initial farm and get it going. Perm was very, very happy with that. And this year is about creating Nungbua 2.0, so really making it a year-long self-sustaining permaculture farm. And I definitely feel very, very confident that we've done that. Part of the reason I feel that way is because the transfer of knowledge is definitely there this year. So what we've done is we created an on-site manual for daily management, and we've actually created a job and hired a local person to act as a groundskeeper to help take care of this place. In time, especially as this food forest gets established, this place is going to be economically profitable. It's going to produce a lot of food, there's going to be revenue, and it's going to be a self-sustaining permaculture farm. So shout out to the 700 volunteers that have been a part of this. Big shout out to my main man P.U., P.Tat, P.Nung. They've been hugely, hugely helpful and integral in helping make this farm what it's become. Definitely could not have done that without them. Kruom Noi, he is the vision behind everything we've done here. He is the social entrepreneur that we've invested in that's made this what it is. I'm highly confident that him and his kids are going to be able to take care of it after we leave. Big shout out to my man Dylan.